dead at the Luxor. The call, Thursday, 4:45 p.m., 9 Delta cardiac arrest, 55-year-old male, 3900 Las Vegas Boulevard at the Luxor. We beat fire to the call because we can still hear their sirens. Everybody shuts their sirens down once on hotel property. Security is flagging us down and flashing their security flashlights at us, and the one guard keeps covering and uncovering the light with his hand like he's trying to communicate something to us in Morse code. I'm not too good at this, but I think it says, "Hotel security guards are fat douches." Yep, that's what he's signaling. Seriously, I'm driving an ambulance. We're 50 feet from you. Stop with the lights and the waving me down. Sheesh. And as we pull to a stop, they meet us by the rig looking jumpy and moving fast. They direct us right toward registration. This is a cardiac arrest. No taking us through the employee tunnels today. We can see him already, the fat guy, heart rate 0, respiratory rate 0, lying on the Egyptian tiled floor. Security had already rolled him over and started him on oxygen 2 liters per minute. Good effort, though. This was just before AEDs were installed everywhere, and this guy probably would have benefited from a defibrillating shock, and now we're standing next to him. Wow, not only is he fat, but he was next in line to register. Double bummer. Terrible way to start your weekend in Vegas, dude. But it was everybody else still lined up behind him, struggling to decide what the polite thing to do is in a situation where the guy at the front of the line literally drops dead. That strikes me as really funny. Now, my medic is issuing orders and fire is on scene with us. Seriously, it's a clusterfuck. My medic is good, but fire has scene control, and the fire medic is obviously panicked. They also have a 19-year-old female right along with them. Okay, I start doing compressions, heart rate 85, and ready for myself for the broken ribs. There it is, like chewing ice. Fire decides he'll intubate the patient, respiratory rate 0, which is absolute nonsense at this point. He needs to be put on the monitor. They ask if their ride-along can do compressions, and I start an IV. It makes you wonder what the other fire guy was doing, right? Nothing. Literally just standing with security, leaning against one of the pillars, arms crossed. My medic hooks up the monitor, asystole, no heartbeat. And I switch back to compressions, heart rate 85, and more broken ribs. The ride-along was doing worthless compressions, heart rate 46. She was way too small, the guy way too big. The fire medic is on a second attempt at intubating the patient, respiratory rate still 0. And this is exactly why I say the tube is worthless. Nobody is bagging this guy, breathing for him, and everything has to wait until this hero fire medic gets that tube. Suddenly, the next guy in line is stepping over the body at the waist, just next to where I'm doing compressions. The guy steps over the body and he stops. He stops, turns, and looks down at me because I'm at my knees looking up at him in wide-eyed amazement. This guy just stepped over the body we're doing compressions on. He didn't go around, duck under, or disconnect the velvet rope. He didn't backtrack or take a less intrusive route. Nothing. Just stepped over him. Then he turned, looked at us, and asked if the guy was dead. Finally, an opportunity for witty banter, so I asked. The last time you fell down, did 911 start CPR? Security, fire, my medic, and the people in line started laughing. And this guy shouts, "Fuck you," flips me off, turns, and walks up to the registration counter. See what I mean? Who could have predicted that would happen? And that's exactly why I love being a paramedic. Best fucking job ever. The ride-along and I switch positions again, and now I'm pushing 1 amp atropine, 1 amp epinephrine, and I am back on CPR again. The fat guy was a smoker too, and this whole time there was a cigar in the top left pocket of his brown plaid button-down shirt. He must have had the shirt for a while too, because he wore it like a schmedium. It was so tight it hugged his fat into rolls. Nobody goes to the store and buys a shirt that fits like that. It would be like buying shoes that were too small on purpose. While those thoughts are bouncing around in my head, the cigar breaks loose from the pocket and starts the slide down his chest toward the floor. With every compression, the cigar moves a little, just a little. Besides, today is this guy's big day. It's his travel day. It's the day to wear something comfortable or dressy. Clearly, this spandex-like button-down brown plaid shirt was not his best, so it must be comfortable travel wear. Either way, this is how the movie of his life was about to end. Next in line, in a too-tight schmedium, button-down, brown plaid shirt. Yeah, at least he didn't shit himself. The cigar moved a little more. It seemed stuck to his shirt, never to fall, but that's because time slows when doing CPR. Oh, crack! Another rib broke. Bet you can't eat just one. The cigar is still creeping forward and is entirely out of the pocket now, exposed like a lonely piece of brown duty sitting on his shirt. The cigar has a paper band wrapped around it, and the texture of the leaf is slowing its inevitable descent. The guy is fat, so the angle's steep. His shoulders are 6 inches off the ground, but his stomach is like 2 feet, which makes the slant of his shirt pocket about 60 degrees. The tip is hanging just off his shoulder now, and bam, the cigar hits the floor. The tip hits first, but it didn't fall all the way. It's sort of standing up, leaning against his shoulder, but still stuck to his sweaty dead neck. What? Sorry, I lost focus. They want to move him, and after calling my name several times, my medic Janie had to knee me. And I'm back again. If it were up to me, I would call the hospital and ask to have this guy pronounced dead so we could leave him here at the hotel, because I think that's funny. There really isn't a need to transport. The hospital isn't going to do anything medically we haven't already done or are about to do again while driving Code 3. But there is an unwritten rule here in Las Vegas about leaving dead bodies on the floor of hotels. So we loaded him up. Heart rate 0, respiratory rate 0, still no intubation tube, and pushed him out to our rig. I stayed to pick up the equipment before following them out. We transported to Spring Valley, where they repeated everything we did and then declared him dead. I smoked a cigar later that night. You were too busy to notice, but I took it while packing the equipment. Dead at the Luxor.